Hey guys, how's it going? On this week's video, I'll be breaking down the bent over bird gang drill. In the spirit of Dan John, I came up with a bunch of silly names for pretty much all of these drills because one, none of them really have any names, and two, when you guys start using these drills and start calling it a bird gang drill, everyone will know where you got it from. And just for clarification purposes, I've gotten most, if not all, of my drills from Mike Zhao. When most people think of addressing shoulder issues, they are pretty much one-trick ponies. If it's not coming down to using lats for more stability, then they're going into cue in harder retraction. And that's simply not the case. You can't solve 3D problems with 2D thinking, okay? So what this drill is gonna do is we're gonna take the concept of integrating a right side while plugging in some retraction and scapular elevation as you go through this arc in this range of motion. So we're maintaining that scapular position that we've acquired from the initial onset from our STA drill earlier before, and now we're just compounding and adding this entire range of motion while keeping an integrated opposite side. So having said all of that, here's the drill. You're gonna stand a little bit off of the bench, get both heels, hinge, shift, get a healthy amount of adductors, protract, thumbs up position, retract, slight elevation, come on up, bird gang. Same thing from the side, get both hamstrings, posterior tilt, hinge, shift, protract, So a few things to consider with this drill, like in the previous STA drill, you need to make sure that you're able to find and acquire and maintain your heel, your adductors, your obliques, protraction through serratus activation. You're gonna want all of those things before you even dream of adding in that left shoulder. And what's going on now, because those right ribs are downwardly rotating or internally rotating as per the Posture Restoration Institute, when that happens, the opposite side of that rib cage is going to externally rotate upwards. So right side goes down, left side goes up. As that happens, it is going to promote more of a retracted position from that same side scapula on the left. So all we're really doing is we're compounding upon the right side integration of the drill. Left scapular retraction and elevation is a piece of your right side. Same thing as if you do right side scapular elevation and retraction, that is a piece of the left side. So right now we're technically still training the right side, even though you're seeing the range of motion coming from this left scapula, okay? So what is this good for? Any number of things. You know, a lot of people are trying to diagnose and assess and figure out, well, what's the root issue? The root issue, more often than not, is your inability to do basic drills. And it really comes down to which skill do you suck at the most. So if someone comes in right off the bat, usually it's gonna be breathing. You don't know how to breathe, no one ever taught it to you. That's the first thing we're taking care of. You don't know how to integrate hamstrings to allow for positioning of your pelvis. That's probably the second thing that we're gonna take care of. Third thing that you probably suck at, you cannot protract well. You protract with a lot of cheating and compensation, with a lot of rotation, but you can't do it authentically. So those are the first three things we take care of at the bat. And then after that, it really comes down to a plethora of other drills and saying, well, how well can you integrate yourself and do X? Whether it's a single leg deadlift, a Thor press, a STA drill, bent over bird gang, standing bird gang, overhead press, scaption, whatever. Whatever drill you lack proficiency in, that's what I'm going to focus my attention on. It amazes me that people say like, well, what's the root issue? What's going on? The root issue is your inability to integrate skills. Okay, people say like, oh, well, this happened and then this happened and this is the quote unquote diagnosis or the assessment and this is your issue. More often than not, no one is going to be able to really tell you this is the root issue. It'll come down to a trained eye being able to piece things together and saying, hey, is this abnormally hard for you? You say yes, and so it's like, all right, cool, well, we're going to focus on this until it is no longer difficult for you, and we're going to do it in a way that allows you to continuously grow in this skill or grow through this particular movement pattern, right? Because if you just try to get somebody to do the skill or the appearance of the skill well, meaning can you do this, yeah, you might not be able to stack that further when we're asked to add on more complicated tasks. Right? Because if you're saying, all right, shift to the right side and just do this, then that doesn't mean anything. All right, cool, whatever. There's a bunch of ways to cheat that. But if you are authentically on that leg, if halfway through it I say, all right, cool, now take your left leg off the ground, it should not interrupt with this pattern at all. So it comes down to how well you are at integrating your entire body at performing any given task. Meaning how well can you manage gravity from that particular posture or orientation? Because the position is the same. We're still, if we're loading that one side, we want to make sure that we're getting hamstrings, adductors, obliques, heels, serratus, whatever. We want to make sure that that's taken care of so that if we want to integrate left side movement to a right side stance, we can do it. It's not that big of a deal. All right? So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram at Mejor Strength, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Take care.